duplicate louver shutter. There's no louvers in them yet, but we have to create these slots. And in a previous video and a live stream, I created this jig, which is a very simple jig, made out of lots of different pieces of wood. You can't buy these things, you see. No. So I had to make it, all right? It's not difficult. As you see, it's just like a sandwich of lots of different pieces of wood, and each spacer here represents the distance between each of these fingers. It's like a dental course, isn't it? Okay, anyway. Yeah, I use my laser. Oh, anyway, so this particular jig is it seems to work really well, actually, to be fair. And at a later date, if it gets a bit chewed up on the top, I can actually run the whole thing through the thicknesser. There goes my compressor. And actually make it a little bit thinner and clean it all up, so I then end up on a fresh wearing surface. That's kind of the idea. Okay, I'd have to change the bit if I do that. But for this particular job, we're going to be using this jig that I made, but also we're going to be setting out for the duplicate shutter. I haven't sanded this one up yet at all, but it's there, and it's ready to be used for the mimic of the second shutter. So let me bring you in a bit closer. And the idea of this video, all right, is so I can, well, make it into an actual video as well, not just a live stream. So we've got our two pieces of timber, which are already cut out half, ready to go. Let's bring it a little bit closer. Here we go. Like so. Right, I think that's about right, isn't it? We're doing horizontal format today. I think it makes more sense for this particular video, because, like I say, I want to be an actual video at the end of it. So we've got this piece of timber here and this piece of timber here, which represents these two stiles. Now, the thing is, you see, this is a pair of louver shutters. Well, one's got louvers in, but we've got these two pieces of wood here. We have to mimic exactly what's, this shutter onto this one, so they're identical. Otherwise, when you be looking at them, you might see, oh, hang on, those louvers they're not marrying up. That looks a bit strange. So all these little strips of wood, if they don't line up perfectly with each other, it would look a bit odd. It really would. So what I did is I grabbed one piece of this, I laid this down flat, like so. I placed this one so it was in line with the shutter, from end to end, like so. And then I basically used my combination square, this one here, and mimicked this width here onto these two styles, this style here, and then I mimicked that onto this style here. So they've basically got the same markings. Now what I've got to do is I've got to make sure that, we know obviously we got our rails in the right place. Our ledges are there in the right place, or rails actually. We've got to make sure that, that these louvers are in the right place. And to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mark this top one first from the bottom one. Now, to do that, I have to place the top, which is going to be this. It's going to be the face, up against the bottom rail, bottom stile, sorry. And then it'll be mimicked up. The mimic of that will literally be this one. So I'm marking this one off this one. And the reason for that is, it's just easier to mark the opposite. I'm going to use a clamp just to hold it in place for the moment, so it all lines up. And doesn't move. Because that would be really annoying if it moves while I actually do these marks. So just got to make sure that's flush there. These lines here, all these marks here, all marry up with these rails, and I'm going to mark a louvre position on each one using the smaller combination square. Oh, there it is. Right, so it's quite easy. This particular slot here for the sleeve is going to start at that position here. Now, I don't want to go in the same direction. I need to do it as though it's come back at 90 degrees from that slot. So I'll mark that across here like so. And there like so. And I just cross it out like so. This is a visual guide for me. I don't need to do the others. I just need the two ends. So I know where to start and stop. I'll do the same over here. Mark where I got to start. Or it could be the stop, it doesn't matter. Right. And stop. And the same on this one. Start or stop on this one. So they're all basically been, well, it allows me to line up the jig. Get it in the right place. But you could quite easily make a mistake and then you've got to start again, haven't you? You know, it'd be very, very annoying. Very frustrating indeed. So this one is actually going to be, if you think of the angle, it's going that way at the moment. So when it comes onto there like so, all the louvers will be going in that direction towards me. So they'll basically be the same as this style here. But we've got to mimic that now onto the other piece of wood. This piece here, right? Now this is the face. So we want the faces to go out. Face is out in that direction. This face here is going towards me, so they're opposite each other. Let me just line that up like so. So it's just basically the rough start and stops. So make sure it goes all the way up, but there. Starts, but there. So basically doing exactly the same again, but using my marks as a guide. You've got to be a little bit careful because you can get an accumulative error. But it's only guide, it's only got, you know, it's within a mil or so, that'd be fine. Right, here we go. Same over here. I've got quite a few of these louver shutters to make. And you kind of wonder why you take on some of these jobs, because they do take quite a while. But there you go. Say the V. So we have got the marks now on our two stiles, and they're ready to go. So we've got a jig over here. Now, what way is this jig set up at the moment? It is set up for this one at the moment. So we'll plug that in the vise. A little bit more room, we need double the room. So I just lay that on the bottom of the vise there like so. Let's bring it down a bit lower, because we're going to get all low we are. Yeah. There we go. And then we've got my jig, which is over here. We better knock that over. Let's just put that layer down. And the jig is going to, well, these two pieces go together like so, you see. Right. Now the jig is longer than each section. I didn't make the jig as long as a whole shutter because it's silly. So you don't know where your mid rails are going to be. So you just need to think about the jig being long enough for this section of the longest possible shutter that you know, tallest shutter you're likely to ever make, which could be a door shutter or something like that. As it, you know, there'll be an upstairs sort of balcony, French doors or something. Not your front or back door, because that'd be daft. So now what I've got to do is I've got to line up my, oh actually, it's pretty much bang on. It needs to come, no, that was pretty good. Alright, so that's more luck than judgment. I might just tap it up just a touch, split the difference. Yeah, there needs to be that way or that way. Just tap it on the end, line it up there. I think that's pretty good. Bad touch. Right, there you go. Now the thing is now is it's not, there's a gap underneath. So I do have a screw that I can put in there, but actually you don't need to. I just put, all I do is I put a clamp near, somewhere near where I start. So on the end here, I'll put a clamp maybe on there and get my first one done and move the clamp along as I go. Just use one of these quick release clamps. Don't interfere with the actual rotor, which is a little Metabo rotor here, and it has this pattern cut a bit. Okay, so that the roller will follow the actual dental course of this particular jig. And this jig is reversible, made it that way. So it's a simple jig. It's a fair bit of work to actually make it, to be fair, to make sure it's accurate. Because you, like I mentioned before in the previous stream, you could actually make it out of a solid piece of wood, but then you end up with the grain going all the wrong directions, and it'll move. It won't be stable. You could use a bit of Tufnel, make it out of that, I suppose, or Resoplan or something like that, and then it wouldn't move, obviously. But that'd be quite a bugger to machine it up. Unless you've got a CNC machine, that'd be easy then. But I haven't. So I might bring you down a little bit lower. Do 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 do. Right, there we go. Arrgh, look at that dental course. Ain't it lovely? Right, before we actually cut these though, let's move that away, get that flat, I'll put a twist on that door. I need to do a bit of a magic trick with this little Japanese pull saw, because this issue I've been having is breakout. I did mention this before, but I was getting big loads of lumps come out, and that's what's happened in the previous stream, but I've actually sussed it now. If I use, say for instance, this little Japanese pull saw here, and hold it on the side there, or you could use a piece of wood, such as this domino here. Yeah, I've got blood over everything the other day. I've got a habit of doing that. All right, you just hold it to the actual. What I don't want to do, you see, I don't want to gouge all the top, so I've got to be careful not to do that. So a couple of little strokes on that, just on each one. Oh, probably better without the wood actually, just like to make sure we don't actually have breakout. It's just, I know it's an extra job and there's a pain in the neck, but you just have to do it. Otherwise, all these little pieces here, they just break out the router, and it looks awful. You could do this with, to be fair, work better with a knife. You could do it with a knife. I think that's what I'm going to do. I've got a scalpel, could even use that. But I think that might be a bit bendy. Yeah, I'll use a knife. Yeah. It's not really something I want to do, but you have to. Now, someone mentioned in the comments about using carbide bits like these. No, I don't have any carbide bits, pattern bits, but I'll just you know, get out a couple of my carbide bits like that. You see, these are just solid carbide router bits, and these things create a much better finish than you can get out of the standard tungsten carbide tipped. This one here is a bit worn. It's one I've used to use on staircases, but it does create a much nicer finish. This one needs a really good sharpen. It's not that easy to do it with diamond, but it is possible. Where was I? I was there. So I'm just trying to make sure I got nice and deep. I wish I didn't have to do this, but you do. I did try doing it with a very sharp chisel, but because it's pine, it just tears all the fibres. Because of the thickness of the chisel, you see. I've got to do this on, hang on, gone too far. Right, now I've got to do the opposite side, which I will do with a little saw, because it's really the only way to do it. Because I can't get in there, you see. Like that. It's actually quite easy to saw, that one is. There you go. Yeah, it's easier from this direction. It's one of them things you have to do. I think I might be doing an unboxing later today of my laser, the longer B1, which is a big old 40 watt laser. It's quite powerful. Right, how are we doing on there? Have I gone deep enough on all those little cuts? Ooh, maybe not that one. think that's okay. Oh, that one may be a bit deeper. Oh, actually, that's the one I should have done. So maybe not. Oh, lead. Okay, I think that's good. So in this live stream, we're going to create these louvers on each piece, and then we're going to glue up this shutter ready for the louvers. I'm going to be fitting the louvers in more of in one hit, because I've got to set all machines up to create the louvers to slide into these shutters and glue and peg them in. I've got a machine up for it. I don't want to constantly be changing from one thing to the next, one thing to the next. It makes more sense just to get all the frames made up, ready to go, so that I can then slide all the louvers in and do that over the course of a day. So they won't take long to go in, provided I've got everything's machined up well and fits well. But I'll batch it. What I'll do is I'll probably do enough to do one shutter, make sure it's all hunky-dory, and then do enough for two shutters, make sure that's all good, and do enough for, and just progress like that. Because we've got to worry about, think about is if the machines move while you're actually creating these louvers and what have you, you could end up with a whole load of louvers laying about. They're not the right size, and if they're too thin, they're buggered, aren't they? They're scrappers. If they're too thick, okay, I could run through the thickness again and get them to the right thickness. But I just don't want the aggro, so I'll just be cautious. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I hope everybody's well. I don't know if anyone's spoken in the chat yet. Tell you what, I'll get my other phone and I'll put the chat up in the phone. It's a lovely day today. It's a bit chilly this morning here in France. But the sun is out. The dogs have been barking at God knows what. Any old thing. And yeah, so it's quite good. Quite good. I like the sun. Right. Let's bring up the chat. Right, so home, the channel. There you go. I'm alive apparently, according to this. Yay! Now I can see. Let's put it on pause. Hello, Thomas Costello. Oh, I love the man's videos. I love you too. You know. Yeah, I do my best. I'm quite busy all the time, so I used to edit all my videos, and I haven't been doing any editing recently because I'm just so snowed under. Obviously got work to do, plus making the videos and stuff like that. So I try and do everything kind of just, at the moment, I'm trying not to edit, because you can shorten the videos, but and make them more intense. But I just don't have time. When I was doing my videos, it would take me 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours to edit one video. It's so laborious. And if you're doing one video a week, maybe you can do that. But when you put them up every single day, it's not possible. So I do appreciate people hanging on and watching them. It's very kind. Hi, I'm in the middle of making a river, a chopping board. Oh, so you're talking about resin. I'm not a fan of river tables and what have you. I know it's all the rage at the moment, but I'm not a fan of mixing materials, plastics with, because obviously wood moves, doesn't it? And the plastics don't. And I also, the other thing about resins is, you probably noticed already, if you're putting pigments in, it's not so bad, but if, I do a lot of fiberglass work in the past, I used to work boats, you see. The thing about clear casting resins, they go yellow. So if you keep them clear, they can go yellow quite quickly. Even the ones that are resistant to UV and what have you, they still go yellow over a period of time. So you can get a very expensive table with all these funny toys and all set in the resin in a giant crack, shaped down the middle of a giant plank or something to make a table, and then it goes all yellow. I think that'd look awful. Now, I did consider doing our backsplash for our cooker with clear casting resin and bare bottle tops. And then I said, no, I'm not doing that because it's going to go, as soon as that starts getting anything on there like chemicals or cleaning chemicals or grease and stuff, it's just going to go yellow and it's going to look diabolical. It'll look terrible. But so I'm not a fan of, and also I like natural things because I'm a bit natural, you see. I'm not a naturist, no, just a bit natural. Right, is there room for that, or my clamp is in the way? I need to move that clamp. So I'll put it over here. That's room. Yes, that's done the job. That's cool. Bring it over here. There we go. Oh, you can see my distance. I like my distance. good panel saw. Right, double check nothing's sort of like got dislodged out of place. It has a little bit. That needs to go down a bit because the stop here wasn't touching the actual stop, so the depth stop there. So obviously if that had moved, got knocked or something, so that wouldn't have been deep enough. The cut would have been too shallow. So I've already set the height of the cutter, so the roller just rolls around the top edge. Right, there we go. So what, let's bring it in a little bit closer so you can see a little bit better, hopefully. There you go. I'll try and keep my arms out of the way. Or just so you can see. Oh, here we are. I'm stopping each time. That's something else I've learned with this particular jig. One thing, I don't want to damage the jig, and the other thing is you can end up getting more breakout here. See, that ain't breakout, that's just the piece that's been removed. So it's nice and clean there. So doing that cut prevented a chunk coming out of there, which I'm quite pleased. Now I can move this clamp. Just doing this to make sure. I need to get some of the Wolf ones. I'm just putting the clamp on just to make sure that the jig, let's pull it around so you see. So the jig actually maintains contact with the actual workpiece. Can I actually move it on? Put it on there or not? No, it's not. Oh, I put it on the wrong place. You nitwit. There you are. There you go. There she goes. Luckily, it's got a really good power switch. It's really easy to use. If the power switch was up here, that'd be a blooming nightmare. Looking good, no breakout yet. And I'm always, just in case there's any variation in the distance between each of these dental cores here, or if the roller starts wearing the top or anything like that, I always work from one face or the other. And that way it'll only cut the actual width of the slot from the actual width of the actual, or diameter of the actual cutter. Otherwise you end up with a wider and wider slot in places. Remember, the cutter's going clockwise, so any breakout is going to be in that direction. Oh, that's the last one. And the last one breaks out. So that's the last louver slot. and that one managed to break a little bit. just there. So what we're going to do is just glue that back into place. A bit of super glue and a bit of activator. Do it as you go, it's easy. Well, that ain't too bad. 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 leaves. So 1 out of 19 leaves broke out. So I don't know why that one did it. Actually, I do know why. I didn't actually scribe it. That's what happens if you don't scribe it. I forgot to scribe that last one. That's why. Silly old me. Hello, Marksy. Question, my friend. I tried to rabbit a groove for a panel. I was using a handheld, and now this jumped quite a lot. I had it on medium speed. You want high speed, mate? Can this be done like this? Do I need to go faster or bigger? If you go bigger, you'll find it easier. And the reason for that is the cutters is cutting in one direction, yeah? It's cutting on one face. The opposite face can end up getting chewed up a little bit. So if you could do it in 2 passes, slightly wider than the actual cutter, well then you might find it easy. The other thing is you definitely need to make sure that you put some kind of fence or trammel down so you can actually have like a track. Even it's like 2 pieces of wood either side of the router. And if your router is perfectly round, it don't matter what position it's in, but be careful, some router bases aren't round. So like for instance, this Metabo here, I'd literally have 2 pieces of wood. Why make it life hard? You know, I'd put 1 piece there and 1 piece there, clamped down to my workpiece, and that'll create my fence. So kind of like a track then to run down, and then obviously set your depth and what have you. And do it in, you know, don't try and do it all in one hit. Do it in a couple of passes, depending on obviously how deep you want to do it. Maybe are you doing the rabbits for, they say, for instance, shelves or something like that. The other thing you could do is create a narrow channel, but put a rebate in the shelf. So if there is any gouging and stuff, they can hide it. If you work with pine, you might get chipping around the cutter. If you put a rebate on the ends of your shelves, so they just a saw curve. Oh, how do I explain that? Oh, I did have a blackboard in here. I've got a dry whiteboard. And let's get a bit of wood. I can explain it better on a piece of wood. Where's the pencil? Oh, I'm losing everything. Oh, crikey. Got my pencil. All right. Let's say, for instance, find a piece of, oh, here's a piece. Let's say, for instance, this was going to be your shelf, all right? And you want it to fit it into a slot, you know, a channel, a rebate, yeah? When you do your routering, what you can do is make it a little bit easier on yourself. You can cut a piece out like that, of, well, not unless it's big as that, it could be less. Just a tiny bit if you like, just an 1/8 saw curve is enough. Remove that and have, so that ends up being the thickness of whatever your router bit is, providing you've got a nice smooth slot. And then you'll hide some of the breakout from the actual the router, especially if you work with pine. Yeah, or your cutters might be a bit blunt or something. Oh, it's for a gate. I generally go the highest speed possible, providing I'm not burning. If I'm burning, you need to bring the speed down a bit. So yeah, that's what I generally do. So I'm just gonna put a bit of super glue on this bit of breakout here. What I might do with this jig later is mix some very weak Cascamite powdered resin wood glue up and coat it with that. It's like a resin, you see, and then it'll be a lot tougher. I can't believe I missed that one. So yeah, only reason it's got this breakout is because I didn't score it, or scribe it, whatever you like to call it. Push it on there like so. Bit of activator. 10 seconds. 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant, 4 elephant, 5 elephant, 6 elephant, 7 elephants, 8 elephants, 9 elephants, 10 elephants. An elephant is roughly a second, you see. That's how we used to do our handprint and what have you in the old dark room. We used to do it by elephants. Used to count elephants. That's when I couldn't afford a timer. and I've got a timer. You know, I used a lot of print and hand print and what have you. Colour and black and white. And Chrome. They were the days. That's good. That's all good. That's all good. That one. Yeah, I've got to be a little bit careful. Yeah, I'm going to have to harden these up because the roller, even though the roller's not spinning, because obviously it's a ball bearing, is creating a bit of a groove. So I've got to make sure I always work on one face. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to harden up these. If I get another job in, I'm going to harden up these tongues with some Cascamite. Yeah, powdered resin wood glue. This stuff. All right, mix it thin, paint it on. All my work surfaces in this bench have all been painted with that. It works. It's literally just a resin. So why wouldn't it work? So that's one done. So now I've got to do, or say one side, one section's done. I now need to do the opposite section. Right, move it there. Let's stuck to the super glue. Make sure that's squeezed up there. Oh, blimey, I messed up. What an idiot. I've got a little repair work to do. That's annoying. Don't believe what I've done. I wasn't paying attention. I got carried away. Probably because I was looking from the wrong angle and I weren't looking down the actual thing. That's where I should have stopped. I should have stopped at this one here. I've actually done 2 extra. And then I've got the next one. So this is where the rail's got to be. Here, so I've got 2 extra where the rail's got to be. But what I'll do is I'm not going to start again. I'm just going to infill that. Just slide a piece in. You know, there's ways around things. It's not ideal, but I did it. I suppose I could cut another one out. Decisions. I might not. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Oh, well, let's carry on cutting it out just in case I change my mind. I made a boob. See, we all make mistakes. I blame you, though, you see. That's because I'm following you. I'm paying attention to you, you see. It's your fault. Ain't no nice. Ain't no nice. Right, so I've got 2 extra slots in there, which I've now got to compensate. It's only on this particular one, because I won't do it on the other one. Now I've made that mistake, I'm not going to make it again. No. I hope not, anyway. Right, so that one is okay there. Alright, that's all good. Starting from that one. Oh, crikey. Let's not make that mistake again. I'm doing it live as well. I've made a mistake live. Crikey. I'm not going to lie to you, though, because that's something I won't do. Can't stand liars. I think we have enough to deal with. We have to work out whether or not somebody's lying constantly. Right, I'm going to bring you around to the other side so you can see over half. And hopefully I don't cock up again. So I've got to do the scribing first before I get too carried away. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting carried away. I'm not thinking straight, am I? So I need to do the scribing. I'm going to put an extra visual mark on here so I can see exactly what I've got up to. Right, because I didn't see it. Like an idiot that I am. But there again, you know. Stupid is as stupid does. So let's just cut that one. Do my scribing here. And I'm going to have to make a decision whether I might be doing this for no reason at all. I might see if I just repair it, I think. I think I've got to slide a bit in. Make sure the grain's going in the right direction. And you'll barely see it. try not to mark the actual edges of the jig with the saw. Don't matter at the bottom edge, but the top edge should be careful of. Oh, caught up myself. Oh, there you go. This allowed me to demonstrate the little break out if you're not careful. If you don't scribe it. You see, that's why I did it, you see, you did it on purpose. That's what I did. So that's why I said to, a minute ago, I said, oh crikey, how do I forget that one? Describe that one. Well, I shouldn't have cut it in the first place. That's why. I managed to do two in the wrong place. Oh well. Oh well, these things are sent to try, yeah? They certainly are. My own stupid fault. Should be paying attention, shouldn't I? Right. Oh, that's working. Misdirection like that. I'm just my fingernail as a guide. Yeah, it'll stick on the blade then. That works. That's the way I'll do it from now on. This is only a little Lidl's Parkside pull saw. So I do it for like cutting off dowels and stuff like that. Wouldn't use it for much more than that, or what I'm doing at the moment. I could use my dovetail saw, I suppose. Anything with dovetail saws in desperate need of sharpening, because I actually flattened all the teeth off the other day, and I need to recut the teeth on a dovetail saw, which will be a challenge. There we go. This is the last tooth. So that way we've scribed them all now. Not close enough. Yeah. So they're all scribed. So see if we can not cock this one up. Yeah? I should be able to actually do that. You wouldn't see that. I think I'm going to leave it. I appreciate that. Just starting off using the router more, a bit 30 and 30 with the speed, but I need to man up. It's nerve-wracking at first, you know, using our router. It's just one of the things, you know. You just don't put fingers anywhere near the cutters. That's usually a good start. And what is quite good, if you that little Metabo router is actually a really nice little router. Even some of the budget routers and what have you, they ain't bad, you know. I've got a couple of budget ones up here, but my favourite router is going to have to be. I'll tell you what I use a lot. I use my little palm router. We've got Katsu palm router, which is cheap as chips. But this one here, this Makita here, it's quite odd. I've had it for donkey's years. But one of the beautiful things about it, it has two stops. You have your depth stop there, but then you have the opposite as well. Once you do the depth stop and this stop here, that bit is always going to remain in exactly the right place. And say for instance, using this bit for instance, if you haven't got this particular stop, you know, and your lock, for instance, starts slipping, you know, that starts slipping, well then that is going to work its way up the piece of wood and create a nasty old mess. Very frustrating. Been there, done that. Right, let's put that back on the super glue. Can't believe I did that. That's so annoying. Never mind. Never mind. breakout on that one. I don't have a worry about that though. I'll glue that back in. Getting paranoid now. Got 2 bits of breakout in that section. Have I gone deep enough on that? No, I don't know if I have actually on this face. That's white. A little bit deeper. Break out there. Something's down to grain, you see. Let's go a little bit deeper. Oh, come on, you bugger. There we go. That should be right now. Oh, that's better. Oh, sorry, God, getting nervous there. I thought a big old chunk was going to come out. But we did in the opposite direction. That's over there. I think it's to do with a bit of wood. I think it came out in the other way. I think I'll slow down a little bit on the actual entry. So that one's got a bit of TLC. I'm not going to remake it. I'm just going to patch it up. Before I do that, let's just pull this off while it's in the vise. A bit easier. There you go. Got 2 square pegs, one on each end. Yeah, there's one over there, right? And then one on this end here, because I have to be able to turn it around like so to get the opposite. So I left it in the vise to do that to make it easier to pull it off because it's quite tight. Now let's have a mess I've made of this one. So I dropped it on the floor. And a couple of bits of breakout this time. There, and another bit there. The other side's absolutely fine. And then I've got these. I should have got out of bed this morning, should I? That's what I shouldn't have done. Right. I think that's the piece of breakout. Is that it? Might be. Be around there somewhere. I've got to paint the shut, so it's not really the end of the world. I don't know if that comes from there or not. No, it doesn't. Right, we've got these little bits here that broke out earlier. This one here. Not so worried about that one, to be honest. So it's a little bit break out here. Yeah, that was that one. So a bit of super glue, stick that back on. I'll have to be a bit more careful with the next one. I'm getting a bit kind of cocky. I'm rushing it. I wish you went for hardwood. Chestnut or something like that. See, people try to save money, but it doesn't actually help me. It just makes my life harder when people want cheaper materials. I should have already charged more. Deter them from going for pine. Well, that's not worth your while, is it, you know? It's only this much more to have hardwood. It'd be so much nicer. And last sort of long, it'd be a lot heavier on the hinges and that, they want that. Just wiggle that backwards and forwards, make sure it's in place. That's there, that's it. I'll just clean off the excess bits of the breakout where it's longer than the actual damage with a sanding knife once it's all gone off. That one there, I need to find that chunk, if not I'll glue a bit in. Oh dear me, it's full of damage this one. Oh no, I just stuck my finger to it. That's right, it's there. Right, anyway, that one's done. The opposite one is already ready to go, so I need to place that. If I see that piece that's broken out on there, I'll glue that in a minute. And I'll sort out that bit where I've actually made a mistake, where I cocked up. I'll sort that out as well. I can't see that other bit that broke out. I thought it'd be clear as day on the floor. It's quite a big chunk. It's not ended well, though. I can sort that out afterwards. Interesting. How do things disappear? Right, so we've got our jig here. Oh, found it. I think that's it. Is that the piece? Oh, no, it's not. It's just that one there had a big chunk missing. No, that's not it. No. I'll just cut another bit in. You won't see it. Do you know what I mean? If you cut a piece in there, you won't see it. It's big enough to do something with. So anyway, so we've got this other one here. I've already reversed the actual jig itself. So now I need to go, this time, let's make sure we go from there to there, and then there to there, and not cut any in the middle where they're not supposed to be. Because that was stupid. I'm going to mark these so I can see whereabouts they are from the face. Instead of having to look right down on top of the jig, so you can't see the top of the jig, can you? Because you've got the rotor in the way. That one there. Right. Should we try again? So that has to go in there. That's got to go on there, and then I've got to pull this one up into there. Open the voice a little bit so I can get that in. Then just gently squeeze it, not tight, because I want to side this over. And then line these up. Line the jig and the actual marks up on this jig here. Slide that there. That's about right. So I've got that mark. Oh, that's perfect. That's lined up nicely. Right. So I don't want to do that area there. Right? Not this time. No, because that was stupid. And stupid is, and stupid does. And that was very stupid of me. Let's get another light just so you can see a bit better. Lighting in the workshop was such a headache. Yeah, might be a little bit better. Is that a little bit better? Yeah, that's a bit better, I think. Let's just check the chat. Just starting. Yeah, it's not easy. You know, it's when you're dealing with routers and what have you. You've never done it before. They are quite scary things, aren't they? So, how many people are watching? Not many. Not many. Not today. Now, I have been doing it in vertical format, but I thought I'd do it horizontal because then it could become a video. Because the vertical format don't really make, you know, a long form video does it. So there we go. Hang on. What did I forget to do? What did I forget to do? Like I say, I shouldn't have got out of bed this morning. I ain't done my scribing. No. So, better do that before I do have breakout. Let's make sure I go deep enough this time. When you're doing your channels or your rebates mob, you can do this at the beginning of your cut. If you worry about splintering out either side of your, or these usually one side of the cutter on the entry point and the exit point, if you're doing a channel all the way along. I wonder if I use a bit of wax, whether that'd be easier to hold with the. Get in there, will I? So I could do though. Right, that's the blade. I suppose people in the United States might be still in the bed. Quite early over there at the moment, wasn't it? Go. That one. There we go. Let's go over here now. Up to there. Some of the shutters are a lot smaller than this. This is quite a tallish, well, not that tall. 1.7 I think it is. No, 1.4 high feet as it is. I believe I did the 2 extra blinking slots. That's so stupid. That was so stupid. There you go. There you go. Never mind. That will bug me now though. What happens when you think that's, that's why table saw safety is important, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, you might say, oh, I'm never going to cut myself. I've been doing it for 30 years. I've never cut myself yet. Moment of a lapse of concentration and that's it, and you cut yourself. Keep away from the thing that's going to cut you. That's what you've got to do. Anyway, when you see a pilot, whenever gets in an aeroplane, they do check. They can't afford to have moments of lapses of concentration. Because people's lives are at stake. And the same woodworking. You can't afford to have a lapse of concentration because either your workpiece is at stake or your fingers. Da, 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 da. side. Okay, that's the last one. Right on both sides. Yep. Okay, ready to cut. Still sharp. Right, there we go again. Handbag on. Room. Cool. Candle wax. This is paraffin wax from. That's just a bit of candle wax. Actually, that one's. But I do buy blocks of oh, what we call it. Oh, paraffin wax for preserving. Works quite well. Actually, I don't put too much wax on. I don't want to clean it off there and put resin on. Get in there. last one. Double check. Right. Not too bad at all. Tiny bit of breakout there, hardly anything to worry about. Could glue it back in, but don't want to worry. I'll sand out. Right, that's good. So that was the last one there. And then that first start, I've got to start there and move along to the end. So that'll be all the louvers done. Oh, I keep looking up my style over there and keep sort of thinking myself, blimey, I cocked that up. Alright, let's line this last bit up. Got my mark here. I've got a mark over there. I need to move it up a bit because it's too far to the right still. Just one little forehhammer. A few taps on the end. Gently does it. Little short taps. That's perfect. And now we can place a clamp on halves. Make sure it's all tight. That's good. Right, now we can device and start here with a clamp, I think. So I've got to start my cut there and I've got to finish it on the other end here. But this time I've marked the face so I can see them instead of just, oh, I'll just check that in a minute. And then you mess up like I did. Big time. Check, check. Da, 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 da. Oh, there we go. Up we come. Right, okay. Oh, should we do some more? The last stretch for this shutter. More wax on the bottom here. All right, let's try again. What haven't I done? I haven't scribed it. And what happens when you don't scribe it? You get breakout. So I'll just put this one side. Oh, do you know what? I need some kind of system check in my head to make sure that I do all the scribing and stuff like that. There you go. I'm usually quite good at that sort of thing, actually. I don't know what's going on today. My head isn't in a very good place, I don't think. Right, there we go. Now you could do it in two passes, so sort of half the depth of cut each time. The problem with that is you're likely to get two actual cuts in slightly different positions. any flex or movement in the jig. Oh, sorry about that. I'll do a jog, yeah. I'll make that happen. I wonder if I made a really, really sharp tool, like a chisel, but a really fine angle. Instead of being like 25 degrees, do it, go right down to like 18 degrees. On a rather thin piece of steel, like an old blade, like an old plane iron, for instance. Whether or not that would work to actually do the scribing, so you can tap that in, would it still crush all the fibres and create a mess on the softwood? Probably. I tried the paring chisel, sharp paring chisel, that didn't work. This works, but it just takes too long. If I just could just tap, 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 that would be like, you know, half the time. I've marked it there, and I've marked it there where I've got to start. Hopefully, we can get this done better. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe I'll mess that up as well. Seems to be the case today. Bad day today. Do, 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 do. I think the cut's starting to get a little bit on the dull side already, because it's feels a bit juddery. Might not need a clamp on there. I'll put it on anyway. Most of that was fine. Oh, got another what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to do. This one's worked out loads better. I've stopped the rotor at the end. Basically, so it's just taking too much time, waiting for it to slow down. But you've got to be so careful when you bring it back out again, because you don't want to touch the opposite face. You just want to always be working off the same face of the jig. matter what face you work off, but as long as you work off the same one. That actually looks quite good, that one does. And I haven't done any extra slots. That's a good start. I didn't want to do any extra slots because that is annoying when that happens. Yeah. Right. Okay. So that should mimic the opposite shutter, the opposite of style, the one I've got to repair. Move the jig out of the way so it won't get damaged. Ah, this one's got a little bit of breakout on the back edge. Here and there, so I need to glue those on. Oh, how did that happen? Back edge is usually not a problem because it's against the fence. I don't think I'm going to offer pine louver shutters anymore, no matter what the customer says. I think it's a mistake. Stick that on there. Stick a little bit in that as well. See, softwoods don't machine up like hardwoods do. They really do not. I normally work in oak. That's my, yeah. Apart from the Wallybois, which is the basic shutters, yeah, just the ordinary oh, what do we call it? Legend brace shutters. So there's only 2 little bits of breakout. That's not horrendous. But we'll just run the sander over those edges before I put the shutter together. Across there. Let's not break it, that's all right. There's the sander. I'll use this little. That'll do. An airline. Oh, great, move that over there before I lose more of my glue. You know what I hate is when I make things and people cover it in that old brown stuff. I hate things like sick hands and stuff like that. Or people like to call wood stain, which is just basically varnish with a colour in it. So it's all translucent, and it's if you put more and more coats on it, it ends up looking like brown paint. Hang on. There's a little fracture there. Oh, activate is really handy. So it just sets it within a few seconds, and it's and it's hard. Just lets you carry on doing what you need to do, especially little things like this. For some reason, this piece of wood isn't as good as that one. Went a lot better, that other shutter. If you are sanding these inside edges, you mustn't sand that part or where your rail's going to go. That can cause problems. Right, that's okay. Oh, that's a face. Then I've got this real annoyance over here where I cocked up. I've got to decide whether I'm going to do the repair once the shutter's together. I think I will. I think I might have done a better job if I do that. I'll put a slight taper on it and that'll be tight. Cut that off there. wood is so resinous. So if you look here, this is where one of the chips come off, and if you see that on there, that piece of wood, it's almost like yellow colour, that is actually the grain. That is not here at all. There's so resinous on wherever the grain is, wherever you see those dark lines on the wood, that is that. And it's just, there's just no strength in it at all. So I'm looking on this edge here where it's just broke out. I don't know if you can see that on there. There's nothing I could have done with that. That'd have fell out anyway. It's wood, isn't it, you know, end of the day? I suppose. Wood is going to do what wood does as a natural material, so you just got to work with it and repair as you go if you have to, especially on this job. It's very annoying though. You don't get that kind of annoyance with hardwoods. Oak has its own problems, don't get me wrong, and same with chestnut, but it's you don't get this level of breakout. You really don't. That's pretty good. Oh, another bit. Exactly the same problem. Yep, where the resin is. Bloody hell. So where the grain is, it's like a flaw. It's like a fracture in the timber. Maybe you can see it all the way over there. Probably not. That's it. That's good. That's good. That's all right now. Now, I do have a situation with this one, as you already know, where I messed up like a flipping idiot. Alright, got to make sure everything is the right way round. That's face, and that's the face. So if I look at it like this, these all oppose each other. They do. Like so. And that's where I've got my 2 extra blooming slots. Oh! I'm such a twat. Oh, I'm an idiot. Let's move this over half. Let's do domino, because what I'm using is join them together. It's just strong. And that way I've got so if I did mortars and tenons, the downside we use mortars and tenons on something like this with softwood is that the tenons will be weak. They'll compress. This is one of the reasons why you shouldn't really make chairs out of softwoods, because all the joints will compress and your chair will go wonk. Because softwood such as this northern fir here, it's pine, it's got no hardness to it. Douglas fir, you've got a bit more density in Douglas fir, but it's also very brittle, so you get more breakout. You can't let them win with softwoods. Hardwoods are definitely the way to go, and they last. You know, they don't rot like you get oak shutters and stuff. They flipping last, don't you? They outlive you. Certainly outlive me. I've only put a bit of treatment on them. Now I'm leaving this shutter on the bench, this one here, just so I can visually, in my head, I can see what needs to be done. So I've got a base rail. This needs to go that way round, right? So it's in the same direction as the shutter, because I've got the angle there, you see? So the louver, same angle as the louver. So that one's got to go that way. And that will mimic all the downwards face. So these are facing it's going downwards. There's not ledge and brace or anything like that, so I don't have to worry about anything like that. The direction, either shutter can be mounted on either side of the window. It doesn't matter. They'll be mimicking each other. The only thing is, once I've decided that I'm happy with the left and the right of the shutter, what I'll end up doing is putting a rebate down the middle on each shutter, so they should go over top of each other. So that's got that way. So it's that way round on there, like so. Okay, and then I've got a line on there already. Move that out of the way. I don't need to mark the bottom and the top. I only need to mark the middle, the mid rail. So the the top would be dictated by the marking system on the actual Festool domino dowler. But this one, I'm just going to line up my lines like so. And then the marks I've already put on the stiles to mark where I want the domino, I literally just transfer them over to the mid rail. On there like so. So now we've got two mark, one there and one there. And they represent this, where what's going to be the centre of the Festool domino dowel. A bit like how you'd mark the let's say for instance, I don't know, biscuits on a biscuit joiner. I don't need to mark that one, and I don't need to mark the other one. It'll all be done via the Festool. Its own jig system. It's got, you know, its own marking system. Now I've got a little piece of wood up here, which I use with the Festool, and it has a little fence on it. Right, so it's got a fence on it, right, like that. So I stick that in the vise like that, and it just makes life easier. So was it that way around or the other way around? I can't remember now. That's this way around, I think. I need the dust extractor. It's going to be hooked up to the Festool as well. Da, 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 da. Like so. Oh, I need the lead. Give me my lead. Oh, get all tangled up now. Right, I'll just plug it over here. I think that'll be right. Just turn the dust extractor on, which has a cyclone attached. It's more efficient if you use it with a extraction. If you haven't seen this machine before, it basically has a cutter that rotates also from side to side, and it creates an oval slot. I might do it in the... Okay, put it that way. Right. I've got to mark all the faces, so there's a face, 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 face. Put on that one there, and that's the top. That's mid rail. You need to make sure you mark the face, and you always want to be cutting your dominoes from the face. Because if you don't, if that domino is 100% in the centre, it's going to, when you get glue up, the faces aren't going to line up. It could be really annoying. So, let's do this one first. Do the middle one first. Now I'm going to have to, unfortunately with the domino, this one on the side here that sets the depth only goes in increments of 5. But because of this, oh, it fell off. But because the actual timber is 27mm thick, and to get anywhere in the middle, I've got to actually guesstimate it. Well, not guesstimate, basically I've got to go in between the stops. So what I do is I just line up on there whereabouts I want it to be. Push this down. As long as it's the same on every single one, it'll be alright, you know, it'll be fine. Move the stop out of the way. It's interfering at the moment. It's about there. And then I just tighten it up and it should be the middle. I don't need to be down. Move that away. Am I happy with that? Maybe a little bit higher. It does lock quite well, so maybe a bit more. Try and get the middle if you can. Is that the middle? It's not far off now. Not far off. Oh, it's got a touch more. Let's be pedantic. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy with that. In there. I don't have the actual fistful extractor. I'm not paying £1,000 for a flipping vacuum cleaner. Not pneumatic, it's a good machine, but double check that with my dominoes, do they fit? Nice snug fit. It's one of the reasons I like making my own, because I can make them fit. You see, that is a lovely snug fit in there. Right, and that will squeeze up the pants, what have you. If you buy the dominoes, they're so slack in the mortars, they expect the wood to expand with the glue and what have you. But they're beef. You know, I don't know what the cheaper ones are made of, but the general biscuits are made of beef. Opposite the dominoes, they've got the same material as biscuits. But they've got short grain, they're brittle. It's not good enough. Also, they rot really quickly. I can make them out of oak, you see. I know that the joint that I'm putting in there is going to be strong in its length across the two pieces of wood. If that was a tenon, a mortar from tenon, with the pine, the tenon will be weaker than this. Okay? You can put bigger ones in if you want, or you can double them up if you want, but one's enough. They're really quite strong. And they're going that fast, so it's plenty stronger. You can go deep if you want to. Makes them hard to glue up though. Yeah, tamp up. If you go too tight, if you go too deep, it's not necessary. If you're using good glues. I'm using the pin system here, so I'm not having to mark the actual wood itself. Now, if you cut these by hand, if you want, you can use a drill and drill a series of holes and cut them out with a chisel. Yeah. The thing I would say don't do is don't use a blooming flipping pocket screw for them old things. So those mortars should be fairly dust free. A little bit come out, hardly anything. What's that size like? Hardly anything at all. The extraction works. It is a good design, that machine. Would I buy it again if it broke or got stolen? If I could afford to, most definitely. I'm a bit broke at the minute, but I wouldn't do, but otherwise I would. Because it's a flipping good tool. You could put two in there. That's that one. Here's that rail. The rail that I messed up. Done those long ones now. I'll remove this. Normally what I use when I do the ends, I normally use a rubber mat. Let me go grab it. The thing about the festival, or what annoys me about it, is that if you're not careful using like finished piece of wood, depending on where this fence is set here, the bottom of the machine could end up being proud of the bottom, and then if you try and do it on the bench like that, it's going to get in the way. Your mortar should be too high. So you have to always make sure it's overhanging something. I've got that right around. Mid-rail. Oh, that's the mid-rail, isn't it? So that's just the mat. As long as I work from the face and get on the lines. A little bit of dust on that one. And then we've got the top one here. Always work from the face. And the outside edge. So now we should have all the mortars. Just double check they're all cut, because if they're not, you start gluing and clapping up and you realise, oh damn, they're not all cut. The other thing you've got to make sure is that obviously they're all deep enough. But I know they are, so I pushed it all the way. You've got to bear in mind, watch that when you're actually doing cutting. So you could cut this with a mortar saw or something like that if you wanted to. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to glue all my holes, all my mortars, just screw them up. Just turn that dust extractor off. Because it's noisy. Look at that flipping cock up. See, that's what it should look like, and it looks like that. What an idiot. All I've got to do is I've just got to cut cross grain some piece of timber on the table saw or the regular arm saw, cross grain, and then just cut it to 12.7mm thick. And I'll just slide them in from there. You won't see them because the grain, I'll make sure it's a similar grain or similar colour, so you won't see that. And I'll make it tight. That's what I do. If I do it once it's glued up, you see, I can taper it, make it slightly bigger, and sand it and taper it in so it actually wedges itself in. And it'll be so tight on the joints you won't see it. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. Anyway, I've pre-mixed my glue, and we're using the Cascabite powdered resin wood glue. So that is good stuff. It's relatively waterproof or water resistant. It's all mixed up, ready to go. Do I need a bit more water in that? Maybe a little bit more water. It's quite thick at the moment. It's all going to ooze. I've only just mixed up recently, so it's quite chilly in here still. It's sunny outside, but it's not a warm day. If it's a warm day, you have to think. If you are going to add extra water into it, you've got to think about, is there enough time? Has it already started going off? Which just hasn't, you see. I'll just add a little tiny bit of water in there, and now that's about what I want, just like that. See? That's what constituency for this job. If I was doing the oak, I would do it a little bit thicker. The thing about the pine, it soaks, the pine itself will soak some of the water out of the actual glue itself, the moisture out of the glue. Now I want a stick. You could use a brush, but I'm going to get a stick. I've got some sticks over here, or I did have until I burnt. Oh, hang on, here's one. I do have some sticks. These are just the tongues that I've taken off the wood. If I just chop that off, I'll just hello, Sebastian. I've got a dog. Got a dog come and see me. Bear. Come on, boy. What are you nervous for? Silly animal. Oh, that's a good boy. That's my Sebastian. Slice it off there. Make sure the end is straight-ish. That's it. Make sure it's short. It's going to be too long because it's going to be annoying. There you go. I'll just use this spatula to pour a little bit of glue into each one, like so. Now you could use PU glue. I don't recommend it though. It's good. It's strong. The problem with it is though, it carries on expanding for like a week later. It could ooze out your joints. It's just ridiculous. I don't want to do that. No. Pour it in there like that. Pour that in there like that. Do the same with all the opposing mortises. But before I do that, I'm just going to grab my stick and give it a wiggle. Make sure I've got coverage. I like to make sure all the faces have got coverage. I don't want too much glue in the bottom because it's hydraulic. And then you just apply excessive force to get the actual shutter together, to get it together. You might have to do that anyway. Put a bit on the face. Now I like to make sure that when I do these, all the rails, that I get a good covering on the actual end grain, because it seals the end grain then, you see, less likely to rot. Well, at least that's what I keep telling myself. Yeah, pine itself, it will last many years, provided it's looked after. The problem is, people have, oh, they say they're going to do all these things. I'm going to look after that. I'm going to make sure we treat that every year, and then they don't. You know, they just don't. It's all talk. And they wonder why they start rotting. Oh, I tried adding all those slipping shutters and they started rotting. I've got shutters on my house here, and they've been on since we've been here. You know, but I only made them out of floorboards because all the money that we had at the time. So, and they're still there, not rotten. When I was in the UK, what I used to do, you can get it here actually. I used to use a permeable wood treatment and permeable paint. Not permeable wood treatment. It's I used to use clear cuprinol, or the Wix's equivalent. That stuff is brilliant. You know, if you want to prevent it from rotting. And then permeable paint. Let the wood breathe. Hello, Wally. What's that? Got another dog come and say hello. You all right, mate? I have to be careful with him because he has fits, you see. So, he had one yesterday, so I'm expecting more. Right, so those rails all glued up. You just had one, Sebastian. You think I'm a soft touch? So what are you thinking? You think I'm a soft touch? So now we're going to do the opposing mortises. All my dogs are getting old, they are, you know. Wally's 14 now. We didn't think he's going to make it this long. We start having the fits and whatever. We're getting very worried. You know. When you have an animal all those years and then you think, oh my God, you could lose them. That'd kill me. He's such a buddy. It scares the hell out of me, it does. Well, you know, all of them, but you know, if you know, they're all getting old. Sebastian, he's 13 now. Wally's 14. Be 15 the next birthday, which is only a month away. So there you go. That one there, that one there, that one here needs glue. Hopefully the battery will last. I did on the adapter, it's supposed to be pass-through power. In other words, I should be able to charge the phone as I'm using it, and it worked for a while, and now it doesn't recognise it. So I can only do it up to, you know, if it's from charge, I can live stream for about 2 hours. I'd like to make sure the end grain is well covered because it soaks into there and helps seal the end grain. Really important. Also helps seal the joint. That one, that way around. Do I do both faces like I did? Alright. Oh, I actually mixed enough glue this time. That's a good idea. So I'm using Cascamite powdered resin wood glue. This one's by Eureka Glues. They took over from Polyvine thankfully, because polyvine absolutely destroyed Cascabite. It ruined it. And this is just brilliant stuff. You know, for a relatively cost-effective wood glue that you can use in construction as well. Very useful in construction, where it's going to be exposed to all weathers. It just makes perfect sense. So I'm pouring that in here like that. More than I need, and just then effectively remove the excess with my stick. It's got a good covering. Right, now what we'll do in a minute, I'm going to actually pre-install, not disassemble, pre-install the dominoes, and then install the rails. I'm always working down, right? So the first rail, I'll pre-install them into the first rail, and then what I'll do is I'll then just about, and then I'll pre-install them into the end of the first. So I'll pre-install. Oh, let me show you. It's the easiest way. So I'll start with this one, right? And I'll grab my tenons. Now they're quite tight. So what I'm going to do is, before I actually start inserting these in, the first one doesn't matter, right? Well, so I can line it up. But when it gets to the lining up the second part, not so much on these, on the first part, but when you're trying to line that last leg style onto the ends of the rails, it's quite hard to line up. So 3 of these, I'm going to probably just run over the sander and just round off the ends so they're easier to slide on. I might actually do that now. I'll bring you with me. Yeah, we'll go over to the Linish and do that. I'll do all of them. No, I haven't checked the chat for a while, have I? So, can you see it? Not yet. Let's bring you a bit higher. One day I might get an AI camera that can follow me. One face because I can easily see what's going on this edge, because we'll drive the flipping thing in. It will go in. We'll make it. Yeah, we'll make it go in. So let's bring it down a bit. There you go. Let's check the chat. Where's my chat gone? Hello, Smithy's on tour. Could be his, don't you tell me. Flippin' pocket hole screws. Who do you think you are? Blinded. Oh, ugly old things. What was the clue? Now, I'm no fan of them. Don't get me wrong, I'm not dismissive of them. I just think they're overused. You see people using them for absolutely everything. They have their places. You put carcasses together for your workshop or something like that. Of course, they've got a use, you know. But I just don't like them. It's just not for me. If I know somebody wants to sponsor me so I can take the piss out of it, that's fine. So it's starting hydraulic. That's where the Festool ones are quite good. Because they've got little grooves, and just like you would do your what do you call it? I can't forget what they're called, thick biscuits. You know, they're pressed. They've got little grooves inside. I just need to make sure that it's going in deep enough before I get carried away. Because that stool looks pretty high. So the thing is, it's hydraulicing. There's glue at the bottom, so it's been squeezed out because it's quite tight, and it's sticking the device. See if I squeeze it more. Yeah, it is. Let's see. It's not all the way in yet. So I'll be using big clamps probably to squeeze this right up. So that's all the way in now. Blimey. Right, I'm going to grab a clamp so I just squeeze it. squeeze them up. I could have done with those dominoes, but a touch slacker. But they will squeeze up. I'll make sure they flip well do. Yeah. You won't beat me. No. I'll just slow me down a bit. I'll bear that in mind next time I make the next ones. So that's the mid rail. I've got to make sure that these all go in the correct direction. I've already got glue on this. And on my hands. This is where I should be wearing gloves, isn't it? Wearing latex gloves or something. I've got some. Got a box of them. Alright, so squeeze them up. Put it down. I've probably got a can that's too short, haven't I? Yes. Blooming idiot. Do you know what? I'm not quite with it today, I don't think. Just don't have no wits about me. No. It's not because I'm live, I'm like that some days. I woke up with a lot of pain today with my fibro, which I can't believe I found another channel that guys used to have some fibro. I'll contact them because of the Wallybois Woodworkers Association. Fibromyalgia. Yeah, I had a lot of pain this morning. I was flipping down, I was suffering. Got up, like I was getting off a flipping horse. I've been on a horse all day. Squeezing up nicely. So although these dominoes are a little bit on the tight side, what they are going to do is it's going to make for a really strong joint. So that's the plus side. Do that one. So what you can do, if you're worried about it hydraulic, and you can just put a couple of slits on the side of your domino. Just let the glue out. Just stuff you can do if you're that worried. And all that still squeeze the glue out. It won't prevent you from getting the actual domino in. God, that one is tight. That one's so tight. That's it in. Oh, there you go. Squeeze right tightly. The glue. Yeah, it's hydraulic on the side of the slits. That worked. Put all glue over my voice. Oh, the thing is, the ideal glue spreader. I'm a professional, you know. Right, let's grab it on there. On you go. So just doing that flipping, take those arises off, round off the end a little bit, just makes it so much easier to pull to. These are Revix clamps. I've got some lovely big old record I-beams, heavy duty I-beam clamps. God, they're beasts. You want to get your knackers caught in that, I tell you. Perfect. Okay. Just really flop on that joint. No, you don't want a floppy joint, you know. No. Sorry, the neighbours, I talk, they will. Right, okay. I cut myself the other day. Can you see all the blood? See, it's gonna be mummified in the shutter, and nobody will know. Puff. Maybe in the future, maybe not. So what's all that red shit? Right, in you go. Good time to hydraulic out. Let's give it a squeeze up. It's not far off the mark. Get an extra little squeeze. It's probably going another 10 mil. You've really got to make sure they are tight. Otherwise, when you start squeezing up with the clamps, you're going to cause something. You'll throw it all out of true. So it's best to make sure they're right in like that, all the way in there. So every time I install it, making sure that that lines up with that, the right way around. Oh, that's good. Ugh, I've got really gluey hands now. Right. So other thing's quite good about that cask. Well, you can use a stopper if you need your knotting, like a knotting solution, and you can do exactly the same with super glue as well. You can use that as a knotting solution. You know when you get like bleed through from your paint, maybe using oil-based paints or even water-based paints on, and the resin starts bleeding out the knots. You can stop that with the. It's another use for cascamite, but also it's another good use for super glue. So it does work. All right. So the next thing we've got to do, we've got to line up and next thing we've got to put the other tenons in. That's what we'll do next. We'll have 3 of those to slot in and squeeze up. Hopefully the clamp will reach. If not, I'll have to get a different clamp. Right. So that's going to have to go into there. Hydraulicing, squeezing out. I did put any little gouges on that one. Right, you've got to do it relatively quickly. Get that squeezed in if you can. I don't think my voice will go that far now, would it? No, probably not. Squeezing that in. Forgetting something. Protect the workpiece. There you go. Put a little coal in there. Squeeze that up. That's all the way. So with all those louvers all glued and pegged in, they'll also create strength in the joint, or in the shutter. That's already soaked in to the end of that rail, which is a good thing, you know, on the end here. It's already soaked into the end grain, which is pretty cool. Look at that. I didn't put any slots in that one, did I? Just with a knife. So that's, you think it's all the way. It sounds like it is, but it's not. It's hydraulic. A bit like if you take your car through, I don't know, a Ford or something like that, and you wonder why your diesel engine's buggered. Yeah, it's hydraulic. Water's got in, and that'll crack something under compression in the engine. Is it all the way or not? It doesn't look like it's deep enough. Is it deep enough? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's all the way. Now, if you were cutting all this by hand and not using the Festool, needless to say, it would take a very, very long time, or a lot longer. And are you actually going to be getting any benefit? I have my doubts that you will. Because like I say, you've got softwood tenons. You could do a loose tenon cut by hand. There's no reason why not. You could do it with a router if you want. Obviously, you're going to go so deep with the router. That's the nice thing about the Festool. It will each side. It'll go down to 70 mil. Which is actually pretty darn good. I might use my big clamps on this one, being these tenons are really, my heavy duty clamps, because these tenons are very tight. So this last rail might be a bit tricky pulling to, and I don't want to put excess of force on the clamps and break the clamps. There you go. That's squeezed up. Now normally I wouldn't have to do this. I'll just tap it up with a hammer. But my tenons these times, the ones I made, are a touch too tight. But it ain't gonna hurt, is it? You know, it just needs to go stronger. You know. And if you do have slack tenons, don't worry too much. If you're using a good glue, not a PVA, when I say, I'm not saying PVAs aren't good, because they are good, you know, like tight bonds and stuff like that, or what I'm using here, like for instance the Eureka glues, D3 or D4, they're very, very good glues. But they do require you to have a really good tight joint, because any movement will compress. See, because they're rubbery, you know, PVA glues are rubbery, aren't they? So if you've got any movement there, what's going to happen is it'll just compress and your joints go slack. Whereas with the Cascamite, it doesn't really compress at all. It's tough old shit. It really is. It's tough. It's strong. So yeah, and it sticks like merry hell. So I much prefer Cascamite for joints. Some people disagree with me, because people have done in the past, but I just say they're wrong. Sorry. Oh, look at that big mistake I made. Oh, I've got this wrong way round. Face is that way. Yeah, don't make that mistake. That'd be really stupid. Right, that's got to go into there, hopefully. That'll go in there without breaking out that. Just tap that gently with a rubber. Into there. Right, that's on there. So we'll have to work your way along a bit, you see. And now that ends here. Once you start, you're okay, you know. I don't hit too hard because it's softwood. Alright. So far so good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the clamps. I was going to use my wooden clamps. But I'm not. I'm going to use these beasts I've got over here. A couple will do. For more than that would be a bit excessive. These things will squeeze the life out of you. Well, like I say, don't get your bits caught in it. No, don't do that, because that really hurt. Oh, oh no, Move that out of the way. They're flipping heavy. Get on there, you. Let's move this shutter out of the way before I end up doing myself in mischief. They knew how to make stuff in the olden days, didn't they? These are record clamps. I've got two of these, and I've got a long version of the same clamp. I've also got another beast of a clamp outside that needs some TLC. It's under my outside workshop area. Just so you can apply one hell of a lot of force. And I've got a long thread here, so instead of a lot of short thread, you've got lots of movement there. So it's less, you know, jiggering about. Right, I want a couple of coals so I can protect it. I'll use some dominoes, which are on here. So I don't end up marking the workpiece. Just get on there, you bugger. Right, start squeezing up a little bit so don't fall over like I was trying to do. Oh, you flipping idiot. Put your flipping pin in. Pin fell out. That's in. There you go. So these will squeeze anything up they will. I've got quite a few clamps, but I've been collecting them for donkey's years. When I used to do a lot of laminating, you need a lot of clamps, especially small clamps. Also, I do have about 400 clamps. I obviously don't use 400 clamps these days, but when you're laminating, you need a lot of clamps. Now the thing about clamping is you've got to think of it as you're clamping in triangles. And because you're clamping in the pressure, you know, is effectively is a triangle. So if you don't have enough clamps, you want to apply the pressure equally or evenly over your workpiece, which obviously is no good. Bring it back over here so you can see a bit better. There you go. Now the thing here is, we've got to be careful, because people got this habit, oh yeah, I've got to get my clamps on there, I've got to leave that for days on end to harden and all that. But the thing is, about when you clamp, you've got to actually release the clamps a little bit. You know, you don't want to squeeze the hell out of them, because what you'll do is you'll put make that a true, which obviously is no good. Can I actually get that? Oh, tell you what, we've got another coal here somewhere. Where's it gone? What did I do with that? I did have 4 areas. Let's just squeeze up first a bit, and I can get the other coal in. There we go. Right, I've got this middle here. It should squeeze up as I go. Hopefully. Yeah, it's doing it. Right. I'll grab my other clamp. Just put a bit of gentle pressure there. With this one. I need a longer one than that. This is why you need lots of clamps. Right, here comes another clamp. Right, let's just squeeze that up. Hopefully, yeah, you don't want to keep the pressure on the clamp. That's what I tend to do. I'll squeeze it up and then I'll relax the clamp just gently. I'll put a coal on there because I'm damaging the wood. Squeeze that one up there. Yes. Not going to stop these clamps, I tell you. No! They won't let you. Blimey, squeeze the merry hell out of you. That's nice and squeezed now. Right. I've got to see now where I've got these 2 extra holes where I cocked up because I accidentally went too far with these, but they could be really easy to just machine up and just slide bits in there. Like I said, I put a slight tape on, you'll notice it's not going to make any difference to the strength of the shutter, especially on the mid row. Right. Okay, I need to make sure that's down. Oh, it is all the way down, that's good. Good to see. Now, if you have problems with it cranking, like if you've got weak clamps and you clamp across the width, what will happen is the middle will try and lift on the joints. So you have to hold it down, especially if you've got weaker clamps. So be careful with those aluminium things, those little tiny, with the little ratchet thing, and where you squeeze them up, they're crap. They break. I know that because I've had them. I bought them because they're cheap. Not worth it though. But if you've got weak clamps, what happens? The middle will try and lift on the joints. What's really important is that the ends of your rails are perpendicular to the faces, so they're square basically, and also the edges of your actual stiles themselves are perfectly square. Because if not, you're going to find it very, very difficult to keep your shutter flat or keep it so it's not twisted from corner to corner. That's what I'm about to check. I've got to make sure. I normally use winding sticks, but I've done this so long I don't really need to. You can see whether or not it's true. That is pretty darn spot on. Just make sure that everything's touched nicely. I'm going to grab a rubber mallet and a block of wood and just literally tap each joint to the clamp. Not that one though, there's nothing underneath it. And I'm going to have to check the square in a second. You can do it from corner to corner. That's pretty tight. Those mortars are really tight. That's pretty darn good. Excellent. So I need to make sure from corner to corner it's square. If not, you've got to have to either put a clamp from corner to corner, which is which on the side face that's bad. It's quite hard to do when it's clamped up. You need to move them over. That's going to be in the way. So just tap those coals back a little bit so you don't interfere. Oops. Not all the way though, just to there. And that one as well. I'm not going to tape on properly. That'll be inaccurate. What's the other end like? Same here. This one, only on this one. All right. That's good. Oh. So long as these measurements are the same, pretty now bang on. A bit of luck. Right, it's 1, 4, 8. 1, 4, 8. Currently, I don't think it's square. Fractionally out. I think I'm going to squeeze that up that diagonal, but let me just check it with a square as well, just in case the ends of the shutter aren't perfectly square. It's not bloody bad. That one's, if it was a square, that's perfect. I know it's only a short 12-inch square, frame square. If I squeeze it in the way it said squeeze, that would make it wrong. Doesn't make sense. All right. We need to. There's only a 2-minute little difference between corner to corner. Oh, that's right there. Look at you, doesn't it? You know, if you think you'd be right on one face, you think you'd be right on the other face, wouldn't you? You know, with the clamp. The middle, I'm not worried too much about, as long as it's somewhere near right. That's pretty down there, to be fair. On the side. Go that way a little bit if we can. See, they should. There's no reason why they shouldn't be bang on. Oh, that did it. Spot on there. Oh, brilliant. Excellent. That's all it needed. Check the ends again. That's pretty darn good. I know that the openings that they're going to be going in are likely to be out of true. I know that. It's very, very likely the case. But I want to make sure that, you know, that there's no argument, you know what I mean? See, look how tight these are. They're not moving at all. Let's get a couple of coals. Just to protect the shutter from the clamp. I'll back that mid-clamp on and I'll let it go off before I decide to do that repair because I messed up. Don't need to put one on there, just put one on there. The thing is, if you get all your faces are in good order, like for instance square, and all your mortises are good, when it comes to clamping up, it's actually relatively easy. It's, you know, everything should fall into place. And I say that has. Now, I had a bit of breakout on this one, which I managed to deal with. You've got little shakes in there as well. That'll help when you're dealing with a router. This face is really good. See, that face is really good as well. That's okay. A little bit of breakout there. Easy dealt with though. So anyway, there you go. We did it. Just about. We did. Oh, crikey. Is it the missus? Hello, missus. I'm still alive, yeah. I'm not dead yet. Are you hoping? Oh, well, I've just finished. Literally just finished the shutter. Ready for its loose. About 5 minutes. The food apparently is going to be 5 minutes. Ooh, exciting. So anyway, there you go. That is how I put together a louver shutter. I'm sure some people think, oh, don't do it like that. Right, so look at the chat. Yeah, pocket screws, yeah, right. No, I don't like pocket screws. No, I just don't like them. I don't see a purpose for them for me. That's not the sort of thing that I do. They have their place, but just not in my workshop. Sorry, but yeah, I know some people love them, don't they? They just use them for absolutely everything. Just like Steve Ramsey. He loves his pocket hole screws, and that 741 workshop geese or whatever, he just constantly trying to sell tools. He loves his pocket hole jig as well. I'm not sold. I'm not sold. I see it's got its purposes, but half the time I see, oh, I could do it just with a screw. You know, I don't need a jig for that. Maybe if I used one, maybe I'd change my mind. Maybe. So, anyway, it's time for me to go. Apparently my food is done, you know. So I'm going to say toodaloo, and thanks for joining us. Toodaloo, and have a lovely day. Don't forget to beat the old like button, helps the channel, you know. Okay. Oh, where's the thing? Oh, it's there.